Welcome to the Reebok CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Pat Sherwood, joined at the desk by Katie Henniger and Josh Everett. You see behind me, we're not in the studio anymore. We are at the Ohio Expo Center. Day one of the Central East Regional Competition is over, and it has been insane. The venue is out of control, and the athletes did not disappoint.
Yeah, with the players here, this region has been hyped for almost a year now, and it did not disappoint on day one.
Yeah, a lot of big names in this region, and they came through today and showed us why they're big names with some awesome performances.
We're going to recap the men's and women's competition from the day. Then Sean Woodland will join me at the desk. He's going to give us an overview of what's taken place in the other regions around the world. But here at Central East, we saw every single world record fall today.
It was an amazing competition. It was so intense, and going into each one, you knew everybody was talking about it. World record going to be broken. Started on workout one and kept going.
Yeah, we had workout one with Dan Bailey calling his shot and going out and taking that record just like he said he was. And then, of course, Rich Froning, had to join into the show then on workout two on the men's side.
It wouldn't be, if Rich and Dan weren't battling, it wouldn't be an event, right? Now, to be fair, some of the world records that fell here were then bested in some other regions, but the excitement was out of control. And starting with event one, Dan Bailey was extremely confident going into Diane. Let's check in with what he had to say.
Are there any workouts this weekend that you're looking forward to?
Diane. I'm definitely looking forward to Diane. That's a quick sprint workout. It's going to be a good one for me.
It's going to be a good one for me. Talk to me about how good it was.
I mean, it's right in his wheelhouse. Deadlifts, handstand push-ups. He was sprinting back and forth between the bar and the wall. It was
You don't do that during Diane?
No, I sometimes have to crawl.
Amen.
Yeah, he crushed this workout. Not only beat Spieler's time from last week, but crushed it. And if you look at his times and include those transitions, we're talking about a 1 second per rep all the way through. And then watch these transitions. Watch him come off this wall and literally sprint to the bar. Most athletes, they use this as an opportunity to catch their breath, but he runs to that bar. And you notice he's finished, and Rich Froning, the fittest man in the world, still has a complete round to go. That was amazing.
That has to be tough not to get in your head. And for a while, Dan Bailey's kind of been living in Froning's shadow. That was not the case today. We also saw earlier that side-by-side world record performance of Spiel and now bested by Dan Bailey. And Spiel's, it was mind-boggling, and Bailey had seconds and seconds to spare. So it is incredible here at the Central East. And it continued into event two. We saw yet another world record fall.
Yeah, and I think going into event two, you knew Rich Froning was going to do something special, and he did just that. I mean, he came off, got off the rower, knocked through his pistols, and could not be stopped on the cleans.
Yeah, after watching Dan steal the show in event one, Rich was fired up and had to go out there and just put up an amazing time. He's so efficient, so fast, so strong. He went out there and did the job and got that record and smoked Matt Chan's record from last week as well.
11 minutes and 28 seconds for Rich Froning. Now, we caught up with Rich earlier. Lily Cosgrove, one of our reporters, at the end of event two, which was the end of the first day of competition for the men, feeling a little beat up. Are you tired? She wanted to talk to Rich and see how he felt. Let's check in and see how Rich was feeling.
Could you tell us a little bit about recovery from day one leading into day two?
For me, it's a normal day. This is the workload's a little bit lower than what I'm used to. I train a lot higher volume than a lot of guys. So this is actually kind of a rest day.
Okay. Honestly, I can't think of a word other than that is completely obnoxious. I know he wasn't trying to be, he was actually being genuine and sincere and humble, but if I was another competitor, I'm tossing and turning tonight. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because for most people coming off of that second event, they're going home, they're trying to figure out what I need to ice, what I need to stretch, and how they have to mentally prepare themselves. And then to hear something like that it's a rest day, I mean, that could play with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's maybe in Rich's world, this is maybe like 10 a.m. He's still got 3 more workouts to go, so a little bit of an easy day for him today, I guess.
Now, a very cool thing that happened today, Dan Bailey kind of calling a shot on workout one, but in event two, Matt Chan, who was the former record holder for event two with 12 minutes and 4 seconds, called the shot that he would be bested by Rich Froning Jr. today, and that's exactly what happened. Let's check it out.
We're 10 minutes and 57 seconds into this workout. Rich only has 3 reps left, and it looks like your record is going to fall, Matt.
It does appear so. Unless something amazing happens in the next minute, I think my record is now Rich's record.
And there's Rich Froning Jr. He only has 2 or 3 more reps left. He's got 2 reps left.
There it is.
And then a run to the finish. And there is Rich Froning Jr. with 2011 fittest male on the planet as he finishes with an unofficial time, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. He broke your record by over 30 seconds, Matt.
He's an incredible athlete.
If you weren't lucky enough to be here, hopefully you were following us all day long on ESPN3. You need to do it tomorrow. The performances are only going to get sicker, and they came from a whole bunch of athletes. Let's check out the leaderboard and see how we look at the end of day 1. Your leader after one day of competition, Dan Bailey, Rich Froning in second, Graham Holmberg in third, and a new name, Marcus Hendren, occupying 4th place. What's so interesting to me about this leaderboard is I bet you would have asked any CrossFitter around the globe who's going to be your leader at the end of day 1. They would say Rich Froning Jr. beyond a shadow of a doubt, and that's not the way it played out.
Well, I think Josh and I were sitting at this desk earlier last month, and he actually said Dan is training for 2nd place, but he came out here today, proved us all wrong, and is sitting on top of the leaderboard.
You have to eat my words a little bit on that, and part of that was a challenge to Dan, and he took that challenge and came out of the gates really strong and did enough on workout 2 to hold on to that lead. Question is, 4 more workouts over the course of the weekend, is that 1-point lead going to be enough? Is he going to be able to hold Rich off as we go through the workouts? That remains to be seen.
And not just hold Rich off, but who else is here? Not a bad athlete, the 2010 CrossFit Games champion, Graham Holmberg, is currently tied for 2nd place with Rich. Graham, one of those athletes that kind of, I shouldn't say flies under the radar, previous champion, but he stays out of the media a little bit. You don't know how he's going to do. Opens didn't play to him, and he's crushing day 1 of regionals.
I think we heard somewhere today, it's the silent assassin, kind of sums him up. He just kind of does his job, gets to the finish line, and there he is on the leaderboard. You know, last year during the Open, there was some, talk that he, didn't take care of himself going into regionals. Here he is now on the leaderboard.
Absolutely. Now let's say it plays out as it is so far, that it's the Dan Bailey, Rich Froning, and Graham Holmberg show. One more person. What's a big name we're going to see in the top 5 from each of you guys?
Nick Uranker.
Solid call.
Marcus Hendren, easy call. He's in 4th place right now, and he's only got 10 points, so he's sitting in a good spot there.
And a great thing about Nick Uranker is he beat Spiel's Diane record, but then Dan Bailey went ahead and ripped that world record from Nick and took it for himself, so they were just falling today. When we come back, we're going to dive into the ladies' competition. It was equally exciting, so don't go anywhere.
GNC is proud to be the official vitamin and sports nutrition retailer of the CrossFit Games. GNC, live well.
I'm Emily Turner. I'm here with Chris Haynes, who has a big issue here today because you don't know who you're going to cheer for, right?
Well, you're right. I'm going to cheer for both just as loud.
The story behind this is that Chris, his wife, and his daughter are both competing individually against each other.
Right, yeah. This is the 2nd year in a row that they've done this. So I'm kind of used to it now. They've been to several competitions, so I just scream for both of them.
Let's go, Kaylee!
We are starting.
Your pace! Your pace!
He was the only person I saw. Like everybody else is scored out, and I saw my dad. I was like, he's hard to miss. Not many people can say that their dad is their trainer and their father. I mean, it's awesome.
And how is it competing against Mom?
It's comforting. I mean, it's hard at times at home, but it's really comforting to know she's going through hell too. I mean, she's out there doing it with me, so.
What's it like at home during competition time?
It's stressful because we're all stressed. We're still running the gym. My husband and I run the gym and trying to get ready for competition, and Caitlin's in school, and it's just, it's stressful. You know what? I'm all about her. I'm just proud to be here, and I am so much about her being here. It's a good feeling to be able to be here with your daughter.
Maybe we tell her if she starts doing the dishes, then she'll get faster at the Metcons.
That's a good idea. That's what we'll do. There we go. We got a plan.
Welcome back to the Central East Regional. Day 1 is over, and on the women's side of the house, we have 3 seasoned Games veterans occupying the top 2 spots, and there's a fight going on for who's going to get to Carson and the Home Depot Center.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a big fight between Julie Fouché and Lindsay Smith coming into this event, and they did not disappoint with the first 2 workouts today.
Yeah, they both did outstanding on these first 2 workouts. Unbelievable performances, and they both finished relatively high in both workouts, which has been unusual in the regionals so far this year.
Now, we didn't see a world record fall for the women on Diane, but as we'll see here in a second, Lindsay Smith and Julie Fouché were battling. Julie Fouché just rocking those deadlifts, not looking frantic at all, just had a steady pace that she maintained the entire way through.
First workout here on Diane. Julie Fouché, background in gymnastics, so the handstand push-ups are no problem. And to me, she is the most efficient mover in CrossFit. Almost doesn't matter the modality. Look at this deadlift, back set, just smooth the entire time. Utilizes that kick well, locks out at the top. Second place overall in this event.
You see her walk off just like it's another day at the office.
Now we see Lindsay Smith. This was supposed to be her quote-unquote, survival workout, her GOAT, but didn't look like it was a survival workout to me.
No, and she PR'd on her Diane by 2 minutes today, which is amazing for this to be her one workout that was, going to be so-so coming in.
Yeah, what I noticed about Lindsay there was the proper pacing. She didn't go out as fast as some of the other athletes, but she held that pace on those handstand push-ups all the way through. Smart planning on her part to get that 2-minute PR.
Now, usually what we've seen in the past a little bit is workouts, 1, maybe play to some athletes' strengths, workout 2, very different, and athletes can do great in one and not so good in another, but that's not what we saw from these 2 ladies. They were extremely well-rounded. They excelled at both. Let's take a look at event number 2 today for the women and how just extremely consistent they were.
So we came through off the rower and go right into those pistols, and Lindsay came off first on that rower, maybe 20-30 seconds ahead, but look at Julie there in the back of your screen.
Yeah.
Smooth as butter on those pistols, and she passed her up there.
When she was doing the pistols, it was almost 2-1 for Lindsay, and got to the bar much faster than Lindsay, but Lindsay ended up not putting the bar down. Julie had to drop the bar on some of her reps. She was 5 pounds over her body weight with that 135-pound clean.
Julie Fouché was a ninja. I'm going to use the word ninja on the pistols. Lindsay was first off the rower, but then Julie was almost 2 for 1 from Lindsay's pistols, and that's she made all the ground, and then that epic race we saw at the end. And what's coming out of our mouths constantly? Lindsay Smith, Julie Fouché, but it's, even though it looks like it's their show, there's a whole bunch of other women here crushing the competition. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Not shocking, Julie Fouché sitting in first, Lindsay Smith in second. A new name maybe you haven't heard, Lindy Barber in third, but what you want to pay attention to, the other name coming into competition, Michelle Kinney. She finds herself about 7 points out of second place.
Yeah, and going into the competition this weekend, Michelle Kinney was the name that we thought for sure would have a lock on that third place spot. So now, after day 1, she kind of struggled with Diane. She went out the gate fast, struggled a little bit on those handstand push-ups. She's dug herself a hole. Can she dig herself out in these next 2 days? Given her experience and past performance in the games, I think that she can. What do you think, Katie?
I mean, I think looking at it, the heavy weight was a problem for her at last year's game. So we all knew that was the big question mark coming in. How is she going to handle the heavy weight going into this power clean? But she didn't handle it well. I think she's dug herself a little bit too deep of a hole, and it may open it up for a newbie to come in and take that 3rd spot.
Bold call. All right, so maybe a newbie in 3rd. I'm going to put both of you guys' feet to the fire. If it is the Lindsay Smith and Julie Fouché show, who's going to win out of those 2?
I've had the opportunity to watch Lindsay Smith train the last 3 to 4 months.
So you have insider information.
A little bit of insider information, and I think, my call is Lindsay's going to pull this one out, and newbie to the Central East region, and she's going to win.
Okay. No, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to take Julie Fouché. I think they'll split the next 4 workouts. I think they'll 2 and 2 for them. But Fouché is too consistent and too efficient. When you get to Sunday, that efficiency she has in her movements over the first 2 days is going to help her out on that 6th and final workout.
And who's going to occupy your 3rd place spot?
I think Michelle Kinney's going to come back. I think she's going to regroup tonight. We'll see. I think the first event tomorrow will be a telltale sign because that heavy dumbbell, she struggles with those heavy weights. If she does well there, I think she'll move up and nab that 3rd spot by the end of the weekend.
Katie, you in agreement? Is it Michelle Kinney for third?
I'm not in agreement, and I'm going to take a total dark horse. Heather Welsh, she's in 5th place, I believe, right now. She played volleyball at Ohio State when I was there, so I have a little bit familiar with her work ethic, and I think she may sneak into that 3rd spot.
Thank you guys for your analysis of day 1. Believe it or not, there were 3 other regionals going on around the world today. When we come back, Sean Woodland is going to help me recap what's going on. Don't go anywhere. It only got more exciting.
We have a CrossFit family right here. It's Friday at the regionals. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, loving it, man.
And Nicole, what are you doing here today?
I'm just here watching the events and watching our team CrossFit Faith.
What went through your mind that thought, I'm going to take my whole family to watch people work out for a day?
This is part of our life. This is what we do. We're CrossFitters. So it's a family deal.
Where did you come in from?
Evansville, Indiana.
And why did you make a 5-hour drive to watch people work out?
Well, we have one of our athletes is here competing, and we've competed against several other people that are also competing today.
What's your name?
Casey Ross.
Casey, have you ever driven 5 hours to a 24-hour fitness to watch one of your buddies do some curls?
Negative.
Have you ever flown from Dallas to, say, Denver to watch people do jazzercise?
No.
Have you ever gone to a Zumba class to cheer on your friends and packed a lunch?
No, I haven't.
Do you ever go to the gym to watch people bench? Now, Chip, do you ever take the whole family to Gold's to watch people do buys and tries?
No, that would be quite a scene.
So you came to watch your friends work out?
Yes.
Are you working out yourself?
No.
So do you ever go to Gold's Gym to watch your buddies do curls?
No.
Why not?
That's weird.
That is weird. How is it different than aerobics?
Because you have more of a family event. Like, all the athletes are there for each other. Where else are you going to find that?
What's your favorite part about watching a regional competition?
Seeing the sweat and the pain and the tears and the joy and all of it.
And the sport is amazing. I've only been CrossFitting for 6 months, and I've never done anything that's more addictive.
Why is it so addictive?
There's something about creating goals and achieving those goals and pushing your body to limits you didn't even know it was capable of, and being able to come here and watch other people do that same thing.
I guess just the intensity of this sport. I know how hard my boys work, and if you achieve one goal, there's automatically another one that you're trying to achieve.
So you came to watch people work out?
I sure did.
And you don't think anyone would ever go watch pole dancing class?
Oh, I think they would, believe me. But
I think so too.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Pat Sherwood, joined at the desk by Sean Woodland. Sean has been keeping us up to date here at Central East all day long, doing the play-by-play for the women's competition, but he also has been following the ladies from Southern California and Canada East. Sean, what's happening over there?
Well, we had a lot of excitement today at Central East, and actually driving in, my broadcast partner and I, Tanya Wagner, were talking, hey, I think we're going to see a world record in Diane, and we thought it was going to be Julie Fouché. It turns out that we were kind of like a quarter right because we did see a world record. In fact, we saw it multiple times.
Absolutely.
But we did not see it in this region. While the women here were going through Diane, the women of Canada East were also going through it, and that's where we saw our first world record, and it came courtesy of Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet. 2:04, beating the former mark of 2:10 by 6 seconds, but she wasn't the only one to best that mark. Michelle Latondra comes in just a second later at 2:05, so I think it's pretty obvious who's going to finish 1 and 2 in those workouts because it was the exact same results at workout number 2. Bazinet wins it, and Michelle Latondra coming in a close second.
That makes me so happy to hear that because for the longest time, Camille is a hell of an athlete, and I'm a big fan, but anytime you mention Canada East, she's almost the only name that you hear. It's sewn up. It's Camille. So to have Michelle nipping at her heels and 1 second behind her, that is an awesome race. I'd love to see that region heating up.
Yeah, Michelle's actually hired a coach from overseas, kind of rejiggered her training a little bit, and she's looking to really make some noise in Canada East. But what CrossFit giveth, CrossFit then taketh away, because Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet only had that record for a matter of hours. That's because out west there was a woman, Pat, I think you may have heard of this person, Kristen Clever is her name.
Yes,
she attacks Diane with an absolute vengeance and breaks the record that Bazinet had by 10 seconds at a minute and 54. That's 1 second faster than Chris Spieler did it.
Yeah, 2 seconds faster than Spiel. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
And she wasn't the only one to beat 2:10 out there, because remember, coming into the day, 2:10 was the former Diane record. You had Rebecca Voigt coming in at 2:08.
The Valley girls are insane. The competition is heating up. The Diane times that are rolling in, I cannot believe them. They're mind-boggling.
Yeah, Voigt and Clever going to dominate the weekend. That leaves 2 spots up for grabs. You're going to have the Valley girls, but you're also going to have Valerie Vobril in there. Took 3rd place in the 2010 games. She's looking to make some noise, but we want to get to Lindsay Valenzuela. She worked with a gymnastics coach, wanted to get better in that area of her game. She comes in as an Olympic weightlifter. She has a 235-pound clean and jerk. So really look for her to dominate probably workouts 3 and workouts 5 on the weekend.
2 things jumped to my mind from what you just said. Number 1, love hearing about Valerie Vobril. She is awesome, and usually in Southern California, all you hear is Valley girls, Valley girls, Valley girls. So for Valerie to sneak in there and disrupt everything, that's fantastic. On to Lindsay Valenzuela's clean and jerk. I will not now mention mine because it won't sound as cool. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
She has a 235 pounder.
That is crazy.
And she's a smart girl. If she wants to get onto the podium, she doesn't need to get stronger with her Olympic lifts. She needs to focus on what she's not good at, hire that gymnastics coach. Smart. We're going to expect big things from them.
Definitely.
Thank you for wrapping us up from
My
the
pleasure.
other regions around the world as far as Diane's concerned. You don't want to miss day 2. Tomorrow, we're going to be live again on ESPN3 starting at 12 noon Eastern Time. If for some reason you can't catch us there, go to games.crossfit.com. All the up-to-date footage, articles, midday summaries, videos, anything that you want, you can find it there. Follow all the action from around the globe. For Katie and Josh and Sean, I'm Pat Sherwood. Thanks for joining us. Come back tomorrow. The drama is going to continue.